Five, four, three, two, one. Welcome back to the Fever Pitch Podcast. I'm your co-host Brian.
On Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Can't complain. Can't complain.
No,
Halfway through.
no, I absolutely feel you. A lot has been going on in this free agency, but first we got to talk about some of this controversy going on. Have you heard about what's been going on with Kirk Cousins and Saquon Barkley?
Together or just like in no, can you what's going on here?
So Saquon Barkley and Kirk Cousins are both being investigated for making alleged early contact with their teams prior to when free agency started. Uh,
Oh, okay. Yes, I did hear a little bit about this. But can you tell me a little bit more?
yeah, so essentially, Kirk Cousins, he essentially kind of perjured himself during an interview and said, yeah, he essentially admitted to talking to the team early. And then Saquon Barkley's Penn State coach snitched on him, said that he was talking to the Eagles early.
Well, that's nasty. Why are you snitching? Anyway, like this isn't players do this. Like players you keep getting parlaying, then jersey swaps are early negotiations. It's like, yo, we're gonna get you into the offense. We're gonna get like 12 yards at 12, 12 carries a game. We're gonna set this over. All these different conversations happening. They get on the PSN chat. You know I run that dig route better than your wide receiver too. I'm coming over there next year. It happens. So all this tampering happens. I know there's legal tampering, and I guess they violated the legal tampering, but it's like if it's legal yesterday, if it's illegal yesterday and it's legal tomorrow, I mean, I don't really see the big deal. You can't apply that to everything, by the way, so I don't. But in this case, a conversation, I get it though. You're trying to like enforce the fairness, but I don't really see the big deal.
Yeah, what do you think? So, like in these type of situations, what can the NFL even do if there was some type of tampering? Does the contract go away?
I know I don't know if there's a process to this situation, but typically they might take away some of your draft capital. You might
Mm,
lose a pick. You might get a really big fine. But outside of that, I mean, I'm gonna do some research to see what else can happen. But I mean, he's a Falcon, so and Saquon's the Eagle, so and there's only an investigation. He hasn't been convicted of anything yet.
that is true. Only an investigation. But speaking of quarterbacks, there's been a lot going on in the QB world. Sam Howell traded to the Seahawks. What do you think about that?
Well, well, he was top of the fifth round. He was, I think, and if he came out in 2021, he would have been the number one pick. And he tanked his draft value 4 rounds to the fifth round. Um, the writing was on the wall. Sam was Ron's guy. Ron is in Cancun. So you had to be in Cancun as well. We gave you a year, it didn't work, and we're gonna take somebody at 102, or we might trade up to 101. But we wish you well.
Yeah, I think that the Commanders are definitely going to trade up to the first overall pick. Right now, they have a lot of picks. I think they have 3 third-round picks, a fourth round. I think two in the second round. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. And
I'm
they
not
have the
gonna
first
say
round
go
pick.
ahead then. Mm-hmm.
So with all these picks, it looks like they're trying to put themselves in a position to either trade up for a QB or they might pull a 180 and trade for Justin Fields. They got Marcus Mariota as a backup who's a dual threat. So I either see Caleb Williams, Justin Fields, or Jaden Daniels going to the Commanders at this point, because especially with getting that Marcus Mariota in that veteran position, you're essentially getting somebody who can coach up that dual threat style.
Well said. Okay, I'm with you. Based on what I'm hearing, the GM Adam Peters and Jaden Daniels, there seems to be some like ruffled feathers there. That could all just be like smoke. So we don't know if that's like factual information or not. But I've heard there's like he made some comments about his place that would make you think he wouldn't draft him. On the opposing end, I feel like they're looking at Drake May. I just don't think you move off one UNC quarterback right to another. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I mean, if that's something y'all do, then cool. But in all actuality, initially I had the Bears taking Marv at 101, and then Caleb falling to the second pick. Now, nah, I think Caleb Williams might as well be a Bear right now, unless the Commanders trade up to the first pick, which with all these acquiring assets, I think they're gearing up to do. So either way, I feel like it's either gonna be Caleb Williams or Drake May as the Commanders quarterback.
One thing I saw, I think it was from like Peter Schefter. He was talking about how Caleb Williams doing the private um medical examinations and things of that nature makes it kind of hard to trade up to get him because you need to do your own medical examination too. We don't even know what teams were on that medical examination list. It could have just been the Bears. It could have been the Redskins as well. That's a variable we don't know, and that could slow or stall the process. That's probably potentially why Justin Fields is still in Chicago right now.
Yeah, but then this is a guy named Cliff Kingsbury. He was at USC with Caleb.
That
I'm
is
sure he
true.
has, I'm sure he has a lot of intel on Caleb Williams as well. So if they can't pull it from like documents, they can just talk to somebody who was coaching him for was it 2 years? So yeah, they might go that way.
That's a good point. One thing that I've definitely been hearing, well, after I watched the Johnny Manziel documentary, it kind of changed my perspective on Cliff Kingsbury because Manziel was talking about how Cliff Kingsbury was so instrumental as the offensive coordinator for Texas A&M at the time, and how he kind of helped shape him in that Texas football culture and helped keep him on the straight and narrow while he was in college. Uh, did listening to the interview change your thoughts about Cliff Kingsbury at all as a coach?
Oh, no, no, no. Great OC, terrible coach.
Oh, okay.
Just like Steve Spags.
That's
He's
fair.
very good at coaching the offense. And I think if you give him uber athletic, uber talented prospects, Caleb Williams, Pat Mahomes, Kyler Murray, you see what he can do. So, yeah.
Okay. And then speaking of teams going for offense, it looks like the Tennessee Titans have signed Mason Rudolph. One
Ew.
thing I'm hearing with Brian Callahan is he's really a strong offensive guy. He's really trying to build up that pass offense. What do you think about this move? Is he just is grabbing Mason Rudolph as a backup, or do you think there's a bigger role for him here?
Yeah, it looks like Malik Willis' career in the NFL is over.
Mm,
I think Mason Rudolph is going to take the QB2 role, but I like the pieces around Will Levis. The Titans look pretty interesting. I can't lie. I
mm,
kind of like that roster.
okay.
So,
So So when you look at that roster, I think we kind of talked about this. I think it was like 2 podcasts ago. The Titans roster and what they need to build out. It looks like the primary thing now is just like building out that O line, and it looks like they're on their way to start doing that.
yep, yep. They got some pass catchers with Red. They got Trevor Burks still. They might be able to unlock him.
Mm-hmm.
You got Chiggy at tight end. You got Josh Riley from this past class. So you got two tight ends. Did they keep D Hop?
D Hop is still on their roster, yeah.
Yeah, so you got D Hop. So you got two. Well, both of my receivers are very old, but yeah, that can help mold Trevor Burks. So I kind of like the path they're going. You got Kyle Phillips who showed some spark. Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard in the backfield. It's a nice little unit. I feel like that might be my sleeper team in Madden next year.
Mm.
I like that squad. I like that squad.
If I pick up Madden next year, the only team I will be touching is the Ravens.
I'm sure about it. I'm sure of it.
uh, but speaking of teams, Raymond McLeod to the Atlanta Falcons 2-year deal.
Yeah, he is best known in special teams. He leaves a lot to be desired as a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's returning punts, cool. But if he's because the Falcons also trade for Rondell Moore.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so Raymond McCall is like wide receiver six on that depth chart. So if he's the punt returner, I think that's a perfect role for him in that offense. Where I don't expect much besides that.
Oh yeah, the Falcons. Yeah, they traded Desmond Ritter for Rondale Moore.
Oh yeah, see, I thought as much. Desmond Ritter is horrible. That 2022 draft class is so bad for QBs. That QB class is very, very bad.
Yeah.
Very bad. The best QB in that draft class was the last pick in the draft.
Hey, I mean, if you got the last pick in the draft, that I mean, hey, that means you did all right. But if not, hey, kick rocks.
And like, how did 260? Well, I mean, not say 262, but I think there was 8 quarterbacks in that draft class.
Yeah.
How did 7 of them whiff?
Yeah. One thing I'm noticing with the draft now, it's more common to whiff on a QB in the draft than it initially appeared. I feel like the hit percentage on QBs is 50% or less when drafting. Even look at the 2018 draft class. Josh
Well,
Rosen
Lamar
in the
Figure,
league.
Josh Rosen,
Hmm.
Sam Darnold,
Sam Darnold, that's a whiff. Josh Rosen, that's a whiff.
Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Lamar, so 3 hits. Somebody else. Let me look.
Whoever
I
was
think
after that,
5.
I don't even know them.
Yeah, let me see. Uh, Let's play a game with Does Brian know this quarterback? Here we go.
All right, let's see.
Here we go. 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 Starting off, Baker Mayfield,
Yep.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Sam Darnold. I skipped one.
Yeah.
The Jets really took Sam Darnold over Josh Allen. That's awful.
Yeah.
Josh Rosen,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Those are all first rounders. Now let's get into the day 2 quarterbacks. I feel again deja vu. I think we did this before. Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
He's about to be desired. Kyle Valletta.
Who?
Exactly. Kyle Valletta out of Richmond.
Is he still in the league?
Let's see. He's probably on the practice squad somewhere. He was drafted by the Giants and he is not in the league, but there's a picture of him on the Browns. He last played in the USFL.
Oh,
Uh yeah, he last played in the USFL. He's thrown 5 passes in the NFL. 1 pick.
okay.
Who else we got? Mike White.
Nah, I don't know who that is. That name
You,
sounds familiar.
you know Mike White, but he's not crazy. He's nothing special. Luke Falk,
Nope. Don't know who that is.
Tanner Lee,
Nope.
Danny Etling,
Atling?
yeah,
I've never heard of these players before.
and oh, it's 2 more: Alex Miguel
Nope.
and Logan Woodside.
Nope. So really the hit rate was like 3 out of 11.
Yeah,
Yeah, so less than 50%.
if you want to factor in draft capital, if you go strictly off the first round, it's what, one, two, three out of 5. And then once you move to day 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, over 8. So if you're not getting a day 1 quarterback, don't even get one at this point.
Yeah. No, but you had said Mike White. That made me think of Devin White. Devin White just signed with the Eagles, a 1 year, 6.5 million deal. He's leaving Tampa Bay. It looks like the Eagles are trying to build out that defense.
Yeah, and I think Devin White is on a prove-it deal. I feel like those comments Warren Sapp made kind of stuck with him.
Hmm.
He's trying to get traded for a while, and they didn't move him. But I guess he tested the market. I don't know if the Eagles are keeping Shaq Leonard, but if they do, that's a nice washed duo. Like, these guys used to be dogs. Let's see if they can still be dogs.
You don't think they'll be in the top half of the league for linebacker duo?
Let's see if Shaq Leonard is even there still, because he might even be on his way somewhere else. He's listed as the Eagles linebacker. Yeah, currently on the Eagles. Yeah, nah, pardon me, Shaq Leonard and you just said this, man. Devin White. I like it, but it's like, yeah, y'all are both cooked. Like off the top of my head, I can name like five or six linebacker. Oh wait, ooh, actually, because y'all lost Patrick Queen, so I would have to think about it a little bit. But off the top of my head, I don't think they're a top five linebacker duo.
Oh, I didn't say top five. I said top half, like top 15.
Oh, top 15, yeah, maybe
Okay.
towards the teens, but yeah, I would have to do some research.
And then with all these moves, who are the teams that you think are really doing it the best coming out of like what is this day three?
Yeah, let me identify. I think the Bears are trying something. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing a lot, which makes me think they have a plan. And if you have a plan, that's like, pardon me, that's comforting news to know that you have a plan. Um, Outside of that, I'm trying to think. Oh, the Texans doing a phenomenal job. I think did they trade for Daniel Hunter? Or am I making that up?
Let me check.
I'm pretty sure they agreed to the terms of Daniel Hunter. Yes, Daniel Hunter. And there was somebody else.
They signed Calvin Ridley, Nick Folk, Nick
That's
Westbrook.
the Titans. That's the Titans. Some about the Texans.
Oh, Texans. Okay.
I know they got Daniel Hunter. I think they traded for a running back recently. Oh, Joe Mixon. Yeah, Joe Mixon, Daniel Hunter. Yeah, this isn't they got some nice moves. The Packers don't look too bad either. Um, Also,
Yeah,
let me
the Texans have made a lot of signings.
yeah, the Packers, the Texans, the Titans look okay, and the Commanders will be my top three or four. Pardon me, the top four.
Mhm. The only edits I would make there is I think the Falcons are making some moves, and I think the Jaguars are making some good moves as well.
Okay.
And I'd say potentially the Eagles, with Saquon, and then trying to bolster that defense. They essentially
Mm,
went from you already went from like a top 10 running back, and you only got better at the running back position. So
right.
yeah, essentially that backfield is squatting over 1,000 pounds. So
Mm. That well said, well said. And then hopefully they can either keep AJ Brown or I feel like AJ Brown's gonna get traded, but if they keep him, you got a lot there to work with.
yeah, I think combined right now, I think it's like all the stars for the Eagles combined are getting paid less than Dak Prescott next season. So I think you combine,
Wow. Are you sure?
yeah, if you
I
combine,
think I think AJ Brown's making 25.
you combine AJ Brown, Saquon, um,
Jalen Hurts,
Jalen Hurts, other receiver,
Devontae Smith
Devontae Smith. I think those four players combined are making less than uh Dak Prescott
this year or over the course of his deal.
next year.
Right. Okay, let me see. Cap hit. That cap hit.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about the cap hit or the just okay, so 13, 12, 3. Well, I'll round up 13, 12, 4, 6. So that's 35.
Yeah, to Dak 60.
13, 12, 25, 4, 37. 13, 12, 25. Wait, no. I was right. 35. 13, 12, 25, 4, 29, 6, 35. Yeah, 35. Yeah,
Yeah.
$35 million cap hit.
When you look at the Eagles, they've gotten a lot of essentially Pro Bowlers on very cheap deals from
Mm-hmm.
the outside looking in. I think the best strategy is always to sign early when you see promise and
Yeah.
hope for the best. And I think the Eagles have been exceptional at doing that.
Yeah. I feel like this is their, like Kevin Moore and all the other assets. I feel like this is their bounce back year, but they don't hit this year.
Mm.
And that money, man. A lot of money got to be coughed up to a lot of people.
Oh, absolutely.
And, Fletcher Cox retires. He still do well. You can void the 10 million, but he's just still under contract. So you got to pay him as well. So
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
Their dead money is nowhere near the amount of dead money the Broncos have. I think the Broncos are electing to pay like $60 million in dead money this season.
Oh yeah, it's very absurd. But
Yeah.
hey, it's the cost of doing business.
It's the most by any single team in NFL history in a season.
I believe it. Sean Payton. One thing about Sean Payton, he doesn't care. I've noticed when these ones are, you listen, man, we're gonna be in the red like $40 million. Okay? I don't want this player on my team anymore. Bro, we're gonna be in the red for $40 million. I don't care. Sean Payton is a GM in the coach's body.
Yeah, I think he's clearly showed that. Um, Especially when you look at the Broncos, especially with the trajectory, they have to essentially get a QB out of the draft because you can't trade for one of these QBs that's already paid and due. You're gonna hit the cap.
Yeah. They need a lot of work. So I'm very interested to see what route they go in this draft.
And then what team do you think is ruffling the least amount of feathers so far during the free agency?
Oh, Dallas. They're doing really little. But in comparison to teams that are making a little bit more moves than Dallas, let me look.
I think
Uh,
the only like real signing the Cowboys have had has been Eric Kendricks. Everybody else has been a re-sign. Carl Davis, Trent Sieg, Jordan Lewis, CJ Goodwin.
I
Most
haven't heard much from the Saints. Saints were kind of quiet.
the Saints, let me see.
Yeah.
When I look at the Saints, so it looks like the Saints are pretty much all in on Derek Carr.
Mm,
The Saints, yeah, the Saints haven't done much either. They've signed two. They signed Willie Gay, uh,
yeah.
and
Kansas City, yeah.
Xander Horvath. They extended Tyrann
What about
Matthew, and then they released Marcus May.
Oh, they come on board Marcus May? That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like there's not much going on.
yeah, no, absolutely. But talk to me about players that have joined the opposition in the past.
Oh, who came up with the ops? Oh, in the past.
Yeah,
All
we've
right, let
seen
me
a lot
think.
of examples this season, but talk to me about the
Oh,
past.
Dion. Dion went to the Niners. I don't know where did he go for. Did he go Dallas to San Fran or San Fran to Dallas? But yeah, he played for both. I think he won the Super Bowl with both teams as well. So
Mhm.
Dion, and he was also a commander. I mean, he was like 30, 38 at the time or something like that. But yeah, he played for all the ops. Dion did it. TL went to the Niners and the Cowboys and the Eagles. Donovan McNabb went to the Eagles and the Commanders. Trying to think of some others while I put up my list. Can you think of any?
One that comes up off the top of my head is Richard Sherman,
Oh yeah, that's a good one. He went San Fran and Seattle.
Brett Favre.
Oh, what was that? Green Bay, Minnesota. Yeah, there's a few. There's a few.
Mhm.
There's quite a few. I feel like sometimes there's like a desire to kind of get your lick back. So you stay in division. Oh, Deshaun Jackson went from the Eagles to the Commanders. So you want to get your lick back, stay in division, and just cause chaos.
Staying within division, I think, is very nasty work. Like the amount of Ravens players that have went to the Bengals, the Steelers this postseason. I'm like, is this really how you guys were feeling? You could have gone anywhere.
Well, that money ain't the same everywhere you go now.
I mean, I guess, but I guess money talks.
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah.
is a business.
Yeah, at the end of the day. But let's change the temperature a little bit. Let's get into some of these hot takes.
All right, fire at me.
From Omar Nawabi, Tajay Spears explodes in his sophomore season with over 1,400 rushing yards plus receiving yards.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be a good year overall for the Titans offense. I don't know if there's gonna be a clear alpha, and that offense is a lot of mouths to feed. So I would say he'll probably get 1,000 all-purpose yards, or 1,400 might be a stretch.
That's fair. That's fair. The Eagles will not win a ring next year because of the CJ Gardner Johnson curse. This was coming from me.
I mean, that's valid. Oh yeah, because they re-signed CJ Gardner. They re-signed CJ Gardner Johnson. Well, there are already talks of the Eagles potentially missing the playoffs, and I don't think they're gonna miss the playoffs, but I do think it's gonna be a down year. But I won't put the blame on CJ Gardner Johnson though.
I don't think the blame is on him as a player. I think he's a great player. I think he's just cursed. You
Hey,
know, right? The
maybe
Minnesota
the
Miracle losing last year with the Lions versus the 49ers.
yep.
Um was what's the rest of them? There was a full breakdown.
Minnesota Miracle losing with the 49ers, missing the playoffs outright.
He lost
Uh,
to the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
losing with the Eagles in the Super Bowl, losing in the NFC Championship, Minnesota Miracle. Wild card. I think the wild card was just something. Wait, was I can't remember what the wild card was. But yeah, he's played. He's been around. He's lost on every level possible.
Yep. Okay. All right. Let me hit you with another one. Jameis Winston will get more wins as a Browns QB than Deshaun Watson.
Yes. Uh, I think. I think Deshaun Watson is mailing it in. I don't think he cares about football anymore. He has $230 million guaranteed.
Hmm.
So I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but he doesn't. He hasn't. He's yet to play a full season as a Brown,
I think
and I think Jameis is going to get some wins.
I think Deshaun Watson, he likes to massage the situation a little bit. So I think he might be more focused on leisure. Because you're right, he does have guaranteed money, but Deshaun Watson is by no means a scrub or a bad player. I think he does care about his legacy. You know what I'm saying? I think we saw some flashes right last season before he got hurt.
Yes.
Even versus the Ravens. He had that essentially, I think it was like an 18 for 18 second half or something of
Yeah,
that
something like
nature.
that. With the yeah, with like a torn rotator cuff or something like that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so he's shown he's willing to put it all out there on the field, but he just needs to stay healthy.
I think he's cooked. I would love to be wrong because the Browns are low key. They just traded for Jerry Judy
Mm,
last week.
yeah.
So with Amari Cooper, you got Elijah Moore in the slot, David
Oh,
Njoku.
oh,
Yeah,
why? I'm low key peeping that the AFC North it was already gritty. It's getting grittier. We've added
yeah,
Eric Henry, Jerry Judy. Um, there's still talks of Justin Jefferson going to the Bengals. If Justin Jefferson goes to the Bengals, I'm actually going to be very sick.
I feel like the train on that has slowed down a little bit, but hey, never say never in this league.
You got the Steelers defense just getting way more lethal. Deshaun Elliott, Miles Killebrew, Patrick Queen, Braden Fajoko.
Oh, oh, all right, Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
All right, Pittsburgh.
you got the
I
Ravens
like that.
with essentially a freight train of Lamar Jackson and give the ball to Derek.
Yeah, smashing what Thunder and Lightning.
Yep.
To go from Gus Edwards to Derrick Henry is crazy.
Because I thought Gus was solid, already, but I get it. I'm not mad at it either. I think this will prevent us from in the playoffs not running the ball because I think maybe some of the game planning came from a lack of confidence because I think Gus Edwards had a couple of fumbles during the latter half of the season / the playoffs. I think he had like one or two.
Mm.
Yeah.
Isn't J.K. Dobbins on the open market?
J.K. Dobbins, he's not yet on the open market. We still have the opportunity to sign him, but we'll see. I think we should bring him back for another year, give him a 1 year deal, see what he does. Keaton Mitchell isn't going to be healed up for the beginning of the season, anyways. So
Mm.
J.K. Dobbins and Derrick Henry, kind of rotate them in to see how they both do. And if anything, it's a good chance for J.K. Dobbins to revive his career. And if not, we gave him a fair chance. And hey, that's life.
The Bears did get DeAndre Swift. I forgot about the Bears and the Giants, low key. Then the Giants are a sneaky one. They just signed a quarterback, Drew Lock. I like that signing a lot. I know Drew Lock hasn't shown much, but I think he's talented. And Ryan Dayball, he kind of has like his desired quarterback, a white athlete. He worked with Josh Allen, white athlete. He worked
Yep.
with Daniel Jones, white athlete. He's working with Drew Lock. The only thing is, I feel he's getting worse versions of Josh Allen.
Yeah, they also got Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary, I wouldn't say he's a bad back, but I'd say,
he's he's what you think he is.
yeah, like
That's not hate.
some games he'll erupt and go crazy, but some games will be very pedestrian. And behind the O line for the Giants, I don't know if he'll really have the opportunity to explode and excel. Um, but I mean, they just signed a guard, a tackle. So who knows? Maybe the O line might be bolstered. They got Jermaine Elamuner and they got John Renayan. So
John Runyon. Okay, yeah. Got you.
yeah, so we'll just have
Um,
to see.
yeah. You spoke about. I mean, I feel like I spoke about the Panthers before, but they just traded for Deontay Johnson. They got Jonathan Mingo. You had Tommy Tremble. There are pieces there. I feel like they bounced back.
I think so too. They definitely have the opportunity. What do you think are the next moves they have to make for future success?
Draft well.
What positions do you think particularly?
They could use a little more receiver talent. I'm not too sold on the Jonathan Mingo. I know it's real early. I know he went to Ole Miss. DK Metcalf and AJ Brown and Dawson Knox all went to Ole Miss, so they tend to have a decent hit rate at the skill position. But I'm just not really sold on the Jonathan Mingo. It looks like they keep Adam Thielen, so they have two vets in the wide receiver room. I do like that. They could use a better running back. I'm not too sold on Chuba Hubbard or Miles Sanders, so they dropped a running back there. That'll be promising. Maybe Will Shipley.
Mm-hmm.
The O line's not that bad, and the defense. Cause they got Josie Jewell, they got Derek Brown, they got J.C. Horn, they got pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an ongoing work in progress.
Absolutely. Definitely looking forward to see how things unfold more during the free agency. And the NFL draft is probably going to be a movie this year.
Okay, I didn't see this before, but Eric Armstead went to the Jags.
Yeah.
What's up with all these ops? Like he just wants to stay in the division. That's the new Calais Campbell. Because Eric Armstead was a San Fran, he ate. He was an Indy, he ate. Now he's in Jacksonville. I don't know why he hasn't found like a long term 6, 7 year team. I feel like he's always on the move, but everywhere he goes, he's been producing.
I mean, this deal, he's got a 3 year, 51 million. So I think this will be much more fruitful for him.
Well said. I agree. I love that for him. He's a very talented player. Was he traded to Indy or was
No,
it
he
Indy?
signed. He signed.
No, before he went to Jacksonville, did not because he was with San Fran at first. Was he traded to Indy? Oh wait, no. I'm thinking of DeForest Buckner. I'm thinking of DeForest Buckner. DeForest Buckner was in San Fran when he went to Indy, and now Eric Armstead is going from San Fran to Jacksonville. So both your two D linemen going to the AFC South. Very interesting.
Yeah. You're exactly correct with that. Yeah, he was with San Francisco for 9 seasons. And now he's got 3 years
with Jacksonville.
with Jacksonville. So
Yeah.
he's had a good career and it's been fruitful. So
Eric Armstead and DeForest Buckner were both first round picks back to back years. DeForest Buckner went seventh overall. He's now a Colt. Had an all pro year with the Colts his first year there. And I feel like it's been kind of quiet since then. Oh, I take that back. He's had his best year this past year with the Colts. And Eric Armstead is now in Jacksonville. He's coming off a 5 sack season, but he's had a 10 sack season before. So yeah, two very, very talented pieces. And this is all playing with Nick Bosa. Now they are the guys in that for their respective teams as far as pass rushers are concerned. So I like it. I like it a lot.
yeah, and I think the big thing when you look at San Francisco is they have to clear house. They had a lot of cap room last year, but a lot of these players, especially when you look at Debo, Brandon Ayuk, I think Brandon Ayuk was also looking at Jacksonville. Him and
Yes.
they've been in like freaking communication, and the team likes it. Brandon
Yes.
Ayuk on Jacksonville would be actually very disgusting. I actually wouldn't
As,
like it at all. Don't
as an investor, I love it.
don't come over
I
here like
love
that.
it.
If you're gonna come anywhere, come to the Ravens for the low though.
No, for the low, no, he needs to get paid. Really, you need to go to Raiders. Get in no counters from weapons.
The Raiders will definitely draft a QB, or honestly, they might get Justin Fields. I wouldn't be surprised if the Raiders get
Ain't
Justin
no
Fields.
count no QB1.
I don't see it happening.
Ain't
But
no count no QB1.
let me hit you with this last hot take from Ahmad Atkins.
Shout out.
Jamar Chase will be the best wide receiver in the league next year.
I guess you're basing it off of stats, and if you are, I disagree. Yeah, I disagree. I feel he's obviously gonna be in the running, but I think Puka, Reek, and CD would all be ahead of Jamar Chase next year.
I feel like CD will definitely be ahead. Puka, I feel like it's going to be close. I feel like with the Rams, they have so many different offensive weapons. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more of a rebound from Cooper Cup, or they have another receiver up at the Rams.
Atwell,
Say it again.
Tutu Atwell, and
Yeah, Tutu Atwell. I wouldn't be
yeah.
surprised if that gets split more evenly up at the Rams just because of all the offensive weapons they have.
Mm,
Um, but I can see Jamar Chase balling. If they do get Justin Jefferson, I don't think Jamar Chase will get as many touches at all.
yeah, of course not.
Yeah, I think he'll effectively become a wide receiver too. But if they're able to retain T. Higgins, they have Jamar Chase, and they pick up Justin Jefferson, the Bengals will be very scary if Joe Burrow can stay healthy and they build up that offensive line.
On Twitter X Twitter, Jamar Chase said this will be a crazy story to tell in reference to potentially acquiring JJ because T Higgins requested a trade.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, maybe Justin Jefferson is on his way. Jefferson is playing on this 5th-year option with his quarterback being Sam Darnold. So you know what?
Justin Jefferson is gonna move. he
This may this might be an in-season deal before next year's trade deadline or
potentially,
this year's trade deadline.
yeah. But if they do move T. Higgins, honestly, a T. Higgins for Justin Jefferson and a pick or two, I don't think that's a bad deal.
Well, you also have to pay JJ. So it's like if you're gonna pay
Yeah.
more for JJ when you could have just paid T Higgins, I mean I get it, but dang.
I feel like with based off of T. Higgins' performance last year, the Bengals are looking at him like he's not worth the money, but truly, we know he can perform, right?
Right.
He's had an off year. His QB was hurt. He got injured a couple of times, but T. Higgins can perform, and he's definitely a solid player.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
hopefully he gets the respect he deserves and can get that contract. And they know that because that's why they franchise tagged him. They can't just let him hit the open market and get nothing for
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah. But hit us with some cold facts. Change the temperature.
All right. So I feel like I listed all these before, but I can give some new ones. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second.
Oh, you got some right here.
Did I not say some of these? I'll say them again. Why not?
Oh no, we
So,
didn't. No, remember last pod we didn't get to touch on any.
okay, all right, I got you. I got you. So, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, since 2018, they've had the most rushing yards at their respective positions. For those of you who want to be ignorant, Lamar Jackson is a quarterback, not a running back, by the way. So as a QB, he's had 5,258 rushing yards, and Derrick Henry since 2018 has amassed 8,268 rushing yards. And now these two gentlemen are teammates. Be very afraid. Be very afraid.
People aren't even thinking about who we got at fullback. Our fullback is 300 pounds. He's essentially a lineman. Fullback pulls. You have an RPO with Derrick Henry going one way and Lamar Jackson going the other way. What do you do as a
Be
defense?
very afraid. Be very afraid. Um Also, it's WrestleMania season. We're around the corner. So did y'all know Roman Reigns he's facing off against The Rock? I mean, pardon me, against Cody Rhodes, and his current title reign has been over 1,289 days as a Universal Champion. It is the fourth longest title reign in WWE history and the longest since 1988.
So is the WWE scripted?
Yes.
So it was written down that he should reign this long.
When you beat leukemia and you come from a family of like highly esteemed gentlemen in the wrestling business, things kind of go your way, and this is one of those things.
Okay, so do you think that is this more of a feat or political?
I mean, let me say this: when I was like younger and folks told me that wrestling was fake, really hurt. It really hurt me. I don't want to do that to the youth. But yeah, it's kind of political. I mean, there, there's a lot going on in the world wrestling entertainment space. So that's why Roman Reigns is out here doing movies. He was in Fast and Furious and stuff like that. So the sport I love has been tainted. So we're just trying to enjoy this iteration of it. It's like Creed. When I love Creed 1, Creed 2 was cool. I hate Creed 3 because it got extra Hollywood. And this is what we're dealing with.
Wow. Do you think do you think wrestling would be better if it was real?
Well, yeah, but that's what the UFC is for.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, what else you got for us?
All right, all right. So the Nuggets and the Raptors played recently, and Nikola Jokic had this stat line. Bear with me. He had 35 points, 17 rebounds, 12 assists, 6 steals, and 2 blocks. In one game, he did this in one game. And that was the first stat line ever. Like the first that box score, that was the first time ever. And if you even say 35, let's say it was 35 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists, and 5 steals, Nikola Jokic would be one of only one, two, three, four. So yeah, one of only three other players to have done this. Those three players being Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Terry Cummings, and George McGinnis.
That's good company
Uh,
right there.
yes. So, and then even if you take out the blocks, let's just say it was 35.17 rebounds, 12 assists, and 6 steals. No one has ever done that before. So he was making history on top of the history on top of the history. He's about to win his third MVP, and I think Denver's going to repeat. So just be on the lookout for that, by the way.
Hmm. Okay. I mean, I knew Joker was different, and the more I look at the NBA, I'm seeing that these the European players are really taking off and doing their thing. Um, One thing to note is, you know how we were talking about Anthony Davis's losing streak versus
The
Dante's.
one is Joker. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it got extended to 10-0.
Hmm. 0-10. 0
Yeah,
10.
yeah, 0-10.
And he's out getting handled.
Yeah. What else you got?
Lastly, no team has ever three-peated in the NFL. But I think this year might be the year it happens. So I'm gonna give you a hot take with a cold fact.
Hmm. I don't think the Chiefs win this year. The
I, I
Chiefs, the Chiefs have the right coaches, and they barely had the right players last year. Barely.
I see.
Their coach doesn't like paying up. No, not their coach, their owner, as you can see from their poor grading. I wouldn't be surprised if they draft a receiver, but
Yep.
I don't see them paying a receiver, honestly.
Bro, you got Rasheed Rice, you got 87, you draft a rookie. And they also signed Earl Smith, so you got another tight end. There's enough there. You pay Chris Jones handsomely.
Yeah,
So there's enough there.
I think it's, but you have to remember, all it took for Chris Jones to even get paid. They weren't trying to pay him last season. And then they gave him the 1 year deal. And then he came back, he balled out for him. And they recognized we would not have won a Super Bowl without you.
Right.
So they gave him what he was due with that beastly contract of what, like 31, 32 million a year for 5 years.
Something like that. Let me see if I can get the numbers for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have your anchors. You got your defensive anchor, you got your offensive anchor.
Mm.
Now you just gotta make sure there's enough around them.
Yeah, the Chiefs are also another team that haven't really made that many moves this
Yeah.
offseason. But let's talk about some basketball.
Best sport in the world.
So talk to me about the 65 game minimum and what it's doing now that we're closing this season out.
Spanking them on the athletes. That's what so at the top of the season, Adam Silver and the boys and girls, I don't know who's involved, but the higher ups put the 65 game threshold on players to have award eligibility. We touched on this before a couple months ago, but as we are nearing the end of the season, a lot of players are getting clipped because they're not playing enough games to qualify for certain awards. Those players include the likes of Kyrie Irving, Bradley Beal, Tyrese Halliburton, Jimmy Butler. I'm pretty sure Joel Embiid also have not cannot fulfill the 65 game threshold. So this kind of has ruffled feathers into suggesting that it was Jokic's MVP from jump because Embiid can't stay healthy. But I mean, I get it. I don't, I agree. I feel like you should be able to play 2/3 of the season to count for an award. I don't see anything wrong with that.
What do you think about the players complaining about the rule and saying it's unfair?
Lock in.
I think
Part.
Tyrese. I
Oh
think,
wait. It's 79.2%. Okay, that is kind of high.
but I,
Um, I,
but hold on. You're getting paid millions of dollars. You don't want to play the game?
I mean, with all these back to backs and all that, like you need to have rest.
Yeah, that's built in, kind of, not really.
Not really, exactly. So that's what
But
I'm
that's not
saying.
the point. Take better care of your body. It
Here
wasn't
we
until
go.
recently that LeBron even started playing less games. LeBron used to touch the court 82 games in a row and average 35 out the gate.
Yeah, now he's 40.
And he's still playing more games than some of these young guys.
I think they can knock down the threshold a little bit, maybe 60.
I don't think they should, because imagine you go to an NBA game, you're going specifically to see a player, and they don't play.
I get it. I
You're
understand.
like, this makes less people want to go to NBA games. The NBA is losing money and they're paying these players because people want to see them, but people don't get to see them because they don't want to play the game. If you're not playing the game, they're not taking your money. Your money's still guaranteed. But why should you deserve an award for a game that you're not even playing 80% of the time?
Can't say you're wrong.
How can you be the MVP when you don't even think it's valuable to your team for you to be on the court? I'm just asking questions. I'm not pointing fingers.
I mean, hey, I can't say you're not saying nothing that's not valid. Because you are.
I remember the first I remember the first and only Wizards game I went to with my family. It was the Wizards versus the Cavs when LeBron was on. And this was the one time LeBron did not play. You know how sick I was?
I mean, I'm sure John Wall had like 40 that night.
I wanted to see LeBron play though. I'd never
I
seen
mean,
LeBron play in person.
yeah, you know me, Brian. I'm gonna find the cop out somewhere.
Nah.
But yeah, obviously I understand. Yeah, I would have been sick. I would have been sick too.
Yeah. No, we gotta catch an NBA game though. We got to.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, it's on the list. No worry.
Um, but talk to me about oh, you already talked about Joker's crazy stats that game, but did
Yep.
you know that it was coming off of a 22-point comeback in the fourth quarter versus the Raptors?
The Nuggets are gonna repeat. I just hope you know that.
I think it's either I don't think the Nuggets are gonna repeat. I think it's either gonna be I think it might go east this year.
What, Boston?
Hmm, maybe. Boston's been balling. Let
I
me
know.
let me look. Let me look. You know what I'm saying? Let me look before I just start saying things.
Sure. I really hope you're not about to say what I think about it. I really hope.
I'm thinking either, hear me out, the Cavs or the Bucks.
Okay. Oh, he said it.
And I don't think it's gonna be the Nuggets. I like the OKC over the Nuggets.
I'm hearing that a lot lately. I
Hmm.
think you said it. If it wasn't you, somebody said this recently.
Hmm.
Why do y'all think this?
I like Shea Gildas Alexander. You know, I like what he does on the court, and I like the core that they have. They got Chet Holmgren. He's been balling. He's a contender for Rookie of the Year. He probably will get it this year if it's not for if Wemby doesn't get it. They got Josh Giddey, Hooper, Jalen Williams, Hooper, Shea, Hooper, and even as a key role players, you got Davis Bertans, Hooper.
Oh,
Um,
he's trash. No, no, no. He's trash.
you don't like Davis Bertans?
He stole the Wizards' money. No, I don't. Like the Davis, he
He's not
stole
trash
money.
though. He does what he's supposed to do.
He stole money.
I mean, who doesn't in the NBA at this point?
Hey man, now from
That's on the front office. That's on the front office for big sightings. Yeah, but I like what the Wizards do. No, I like what the OKC do, and I think that they'll probably edge out the Nuggets. I think it'll be
um,
close, even when you look at the records. Right, they're only off by half a game right now.
I like Lou Dort. I like Gordon Hayward coming off the bench. I don't hate that. So, they also got Aaron Wiggins to go towards. They have a nice team. I just think they're not ready yet. I think they're gonna come out the first round. I mean, they're gonna make out the first round. You get bounced out in the second.
Hey, potentially, we'll see. We'll definitely have to see. Did you know that AD had his first ever 25-point game, 25 rebound game, 25 assist game, no, 5 assist game, and 5 steal game? The first, also the first ever in NBA history. The big men are doing big things, man.
So that was a bar. I like that. So yeah, 25, 25, 5 and 5.
Yep.
Well, that's absurd. You know, AD is just a tall guard that can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
It's like when he wants to just hit that switch every now and then, he'll do it for you. But man, those some crazy numbers right there. I can't even lie to you.
I'm surprised a lot of players haven't taken a page out of LeBron's book and taken up that personal care regimen.
They won well, here's the thing. LeBron's won He's won quite a bit. So now it's like, okay, I can coast because I've already gotten mine.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because like, well, look at KD, right? KD won his 2 rings in Golden State, and he hasn't been to a final since, right?
Yeah.
He's very paid though, so it's like obviously he wants to make it back there, but it's like I'm damn near 40. I think KD's like 36, something like that. So it's like I can ease up a bit. So like once you're in your prime, if you have a late prime, you want to get those rings. Once you get those rings, you want to get more, but you dial it back just a little bit, at least during the regular season. Like look at Steph.
LeBron hasn't been dialing it back though.
Well, his situation is different. His team is bad.
I mean,
They're, they're 9 seed. Yes.
I mean, when you look at LeBron's stats even now this season, 25, 40% from 3 point, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.3 steals, half a block.
Yeah.
And he's been averaging that his whole career.
I mean, he's made it clear. He said he doesn't get tired. And hey,
I think that's because of his personal care regimen. I think he said that he spends like $1 million on personal care, whether it be his private chef. He does like cryotherapy, personal trainers, physical therapy, things of that nature.
yeah, well, that also I see this is tough because these are all millionaires, but LeBron money and Shea money is not exactly the same.
I mean, but LeBron didn't start out with LeBron money. He started out with like less than 200 million.
I know,
A million a year on your personal care for a lot of NBA players is also a drop in the bucket. I understand LeBron is a billionaire, but he's been doing this his whole career. And guess
I'm
what? He's been doing this averaging 38 minutes a game on the court. And these are the type of things we're talking about.
I'm with you. I can't lie. You're making very sound arguments.
You know, but let's shift the focus. Talk to me about what's going on in the boxing world. Did you catch this Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua fight?
Then and Ngannou lay that boy down, or am I messing that up?
Anthony Joshua laid him down.
Oh yes, of course, of course. My countryman put Ngannou on his butt. Well, it was a good fight. I didn't see much of it. I didn't watch it, but I was just very caught up. But I heard Ngannou got laid down, and I heard it was like pretty bad, like
He
bad, bad. Like he got slapped, I think.
he did.
Oh,
It was I was disappointed. I mean, the thing is, I think this speaks more to because Francis Ngannou's first fight was uh
that's
with Fury.
weird.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was Fury. Fury's a little bit older, right? So I'm not
Mm.
saying he's slowed up or eased off, but he's nearing the end of his career. I think Fury's in his 40s,
Yeah, really so.
and Anthony Joshua is a young guy. I think this kind of shows like more to the tenacity of having that youth in the sport, and it can catch a lot of people slipping. Yeah, Anthony Joshua's 34 versus Anthony Joshua was not as young as I thought he was.
Yeah, he's out there.
But Tyson Fury is, let's see. Oh, Tyson Fury's 35.
Yeah, nice try.
Huh. Why did
Nice
I
try.
think Tyson Fury was like 40 years old?
He just looks old in the face, and he's like 6'5".
Huh. I was actually not expecting this. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought Tyson Fury was very old. Well,
Nice.
disregard everything I just said. Maybe Tyson Fury's washed.
Yeah. And I think Anthony Joshua was just he just has something to prove. He lost to Alexander Usyk twice in a row, and since then he's on a 4 fight win streak. I know he laid down that other guy a few months ago. I can't remember his name. So yeah, he's really doing damage. really gone still trying to find his footing, no pun intended. But it was a decent fight from what I saw. It was just like, and I've been doing this my whole life, and you you've claimed to have been doing this before, but it's like, for example, drag racing and NASCAR is not the same thing.
This is true.
So you may drag race for a living, but I do NASCAR for a living. So now you're getting into NASCAR. I'm probably gonna beat you here,
Hmm.
and that's what happened.
Based off of these recent results, who do you think wins in a fight versus Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua?
I gotta go with Big Brother. I'm going with Anthony Joshua. I
Hmm.
have to. I have to.
Oh, yeah, I agree. It'll definitely be interesting to see. Um, have you been hearing about this whole Reggie Bush Heisman Trophy thing?
This has been going on for ages. Ages. Pretty much Reggie Bush was an NILing before NILing was cool. I think he was signing autographs and selling merchandise. And he was kicking ass at USC. He was cooking.
Mhm.
And that the 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 powers that be caught wind of him monetizing off himself, and they were like, "Nope, we didn't that Heisman. I'm taking it from you." And he hasn't gotten his Heisman back since then. And Johnny Manziel has had some comments about the way that situation has been handled. He was like, "It's BS," amongst other things. So yeah, it's like he's standing with Reggie, and the Heisman committee or whomever's in charge is just like, "Yeah, you're not getting this stuff back."
Mm. Do you think he'll get it back?
Nah, probably not. I don't think it's likely, but I feel like they should.
Hmm.
So just to give you a little bit more context, he was at USC for 3 years. He won the Heisman in '05. He almost won it twice because in '04 he finished fifth in the Heisman race. He voluntarily gave up his trophy after an investigation from the NCAA that identified his he was a beneficiary of NIL dealings, and this was in the early 2000s, so this was an absolute no.
Hmm.
Um, there's claims that they received over $10,000 to aid their living Reggie Bush's parents during that time. The NCAA found him guilty, and the UFC was put on the 2-year postseason ban. That season was just forfeited. They had 14 wins and won the national championship that year, '04, and that was like essentially just like redacted from like college football history.
Oh,
They
that's
had to,
nonsense.
yeah, they had 30 scholarships over that 3-year span, and they had to redact those. And the college had to disassociate from with Reggie Bush for over 10 years. So all memorabilia, all that good stuff, they redacted his name off for all the records and things of that nature. And in 2020, the UFC president welcomed Reggie Bush back into their system. And what happened in 2020? The wheels of the NIL started to turn. So it's like
Mm.
how it's very disingenuous. It kind of reminds me of, oh my goodness, I was just reading about this the other day. I was just reading about something else, but I can't connect it right now. But yeah, Johnny Manziel standing with Reggie, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm not participating in the Heisman ceremony celebration thing. I think the way you handled it was complete BS." Speaking on Reggie Bush, so yeah, he kind of went into more detail during in the conversation interview. So check it out; it's a very good watch. So yeah,
Okay, bet. All right. The last thing before we close out is let's talk a little bit about some college basketball, specifically women's basketball. Angel Reese gets co-signed by Shaq. What does this mean?
well, Shaq was an LSU legend,
Hmm.
one of them overall, and Angel Reese is on a very similar what you call it path.
Hmm.
If you speak, and because of that, she moves very tactical. Angel Reese has been on record calling Shaq a father figure,
Mm,
and she spoke on his business acumen, amongst other things. And last week during LSU Senior Day, Shaq was her. I don't want to call it escort, but Shaq was like led her to the what you call it? How do you?
like down the
Shaq was
court.
there to like champion her.
Okay.
So that was just an aspect. So there's definitely a very strong relationship there, and yeah, it makes sense.
Mm.
Makes a lot of sense.
And then Caitlin Clark. Is Caitlin Clark the best collegiate basketball player ever? Just tell me now, because she's breaking all the records.
If you ask me, no. I saw Kemba Walker and Kevin Durant in college. I saw Steph in college, but she is doing a lot of the things that many people haven't done, including Steph. I think she passed Pistol Pete for the all-time leading scorer in Division One history, men and women included. So she's breaking the mold. And hey, Women's History Month, she's gonna make his and she's making history. So it's very much on brand, especially coming out of Iowa. I don't know many stars out of Iowa. Most of them play football,
Mhm.
so I can't really have any basketball mentions out of Iowa. She would definitely be on the pedestal that not many people are found on. So shout out to her.
Yeah, absolutely. With the passing of Curry's record and Pistol Pete's, I think that's hey, more on the horizon, and I'm excited for March Madness. We do have more information about March Madness coming for you guys. Not right now, though. We'll have an update probably Saturday, before everything gets kicked off. Because I think what's Sunday?
Special Sunday. The
Selection
top
Sunday.
the top 68 are gonna be ironed out. Then they have the first four, which narrows the pool down to 64, and then all the madness really kicks off from there.
All right, cool. Yeah, we'll have some more information for you guys about that. We will be having a tournament with a cash prize, well, essentially a bracket tournament. So be on the lookout for that information, guys. But as always, thank you guys for listening to the Fever Pitch podcast. If you aren't already, check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. Subscribe, give us a follow on Instagram, leave a 5-star review. It really helps us out. And as always, if you want to leave a hot take or a cold fact or any type of question, go to our link tree. It's the first link under there. You can submit your questions and anything of that nature. Check out Dan's article, the Doppler effect. It's also on our link tree as well. He's got another article coming this month. He's been cooking. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
Y'all take care. God bless.
Yeah. As always, have a good one.